Hello, hello. Hi there, Robin. Welcome. Who else is watching either on Facebook or YouTube? Feel free to say hi. We're just getting set up. We still have just under 7 minutes, and I'll be right back. Anyone watching on YouTube currently? Okay, I think Robin, you're watching from YouTube, right? All right. So let me just make sure. Did you wake up for the live stream, Robin? Okay. I need to make sure we're recording this. So, alright. Well, I am so glad you woke up for this. Hopefully it'll be worth it for you. Who else is here? Is anyone on Facebook able to put in a comment? I just want to make sure I'm not missing Facebook comments here. Feel free to say hi on that side. Okay, most of you guys are on YouTube. Okay. No, that's okay. I just think it's because people aren't necessarily jumping on right now. We still have just under 5 minutes. I know it's a bit of a last minute. I don't know if everyone got the emails. I just realized that it wasn't posted on social media, so which I just did about 2 hours ago. So hopefully some people caught that. And I'll be taking some questions as well. I don't have, feel free to just comment right now. We're just chatting, just hanging out, getting ready before we officially start. Even when we officially start, I don't have like slides or anything really properly set up. It's really meant to be like a Q&A sort of thing after I'm done with some foundational stuff that I want to go through with you guys. Oh, you know what? Let me put on my mic so that you guys can hear me better. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Can you guys hear me okay as with the current mic? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna, you guys have been quiet though. Okay, let me just change the mic. Okay, perfect. Oh, I think it was using this mic, I just wasn't wearing it. Is this better that now it's closer to me? I've got it like plugged in. Who else is here? It can't just be Robin. I know people are watching. I just don't know who. So feel free to say hi. Tell me where you're joining me from. Robin's joining from Australia, I believe. It's 3 a.m. her time. Who else is joining me? Let me know where you're watching me from. That would be awesome. I just want to make sure. Britta from Denmark. Tina, hey. Okay, Britta's from Facebook, and I am seeing the comments on Facebook. Okay, that's good. Because I wasn't sure if I'm receiving Facebook comments on this software here. When will the 2025 Feng Shui announcement be around? I know it's July, and I think last year we opened registration in July. I'll be doing it next month. But I have another workshop that I have planned for this month, which is something that I might share later on this live stream. So it's just because, like, technically, right now in the Chinese, oh, you know what? We're 30 seconds less than that before we hit 1 o'clock. So let's just put a pin on that question there, Robin. I will answer it at some point today. But yeah, annual 2025, that's gonna start registering next month. And I'm just trying to work through the format and additional content that I wanted to add in as well. Okay. All right, we are live. Thank you so much for those who are joining me live. I know it has been a while. I used to do one live stream a month, and I take Q&As and we choose different topics and whatever. And I know my last one was probably back in February because I had a little bit of a health situation where I had what is called Bell's palsy, so it's a facial paralysis. And it happens for whatever reason. Even modern medicine, they don't really know. It could be the cold, it could be stress, it could be lack of sleep, it could be I forget what else. They can't really pinpoint what triggers Bell's palsy, but what it means is part of my face was paralyzed. And it's not a new thing for me, unfortunately. It's the 4th time it has happened in my whole life, which is not common. And so, you know, but that it's fine for me. I have always lived life glass half full. I've been naturally on the optimistic side, and I think that is really the skill that has brought me to where I am today. And that's also the skill that's going to bring me more good things to come in the future, because every time, let's say, a relationship doesn't work out the way I hoped it would be, I would give myself 3 days to grieve over that relationship, and then I'll move on, because I know there's more opportunities out there. And even with the Bell's palsy, yes, it's a pain in the butt. It happened the 4th time, which is very, very rare for recurrences to happen that much. But I was in a point in my life and business where I was lacking in sleep. Since like October last year, I was planning on my Chi planner. So I was like living on 3 hours sleep, which is not good. I was running on fumes, but it was just because I was getting so much creative download that I couldn't sleep, because I was just so excited. I just needed to get things done, right? And I was teaching courses, doing certifications. I had one certification course in February. So I think everything just kind of boom, boom, boom. Too much stress, lack of sleep, and I probably wasn't eating the best at that time. So then that happened. So that's why the last few months I haven't had any live streams or much video content at all, because I had that facial paralysis. Yeah, and that's part of the thing that I wanted to touch on today, and I'll take some questions as well. On today's live stream, we are talking about maximizing abundance by manipulating the chi. And really, I know the title is more like we'll talk about financial abundance, but abundance comes in many, many ways. Abundance can be your health abundance, can be your relationship abundance, right? So, whatever that I cover today in terms of financial abundance, you can easily transfer the content to activating prosperity and abundance in many other ways in our lives as well. The same concept applies. So whatever that we use through Feng Shui or through meditation or mindset or law of attraction to activate money, you can use that to activate better health, better relationships, and all the other good stuff that we deserve. Okay, so welcome. So we've got Tessie, we've got Nicole, Tina's here. Awesome. Okay, so if you whoever is here, if this is your first time, let me know if it's your first time as well. I would love to invite you or say hi. But the foundational work of a lot of Chinese metaphysics is what we're going to cover today is the 3 levels of luck. Okay, so let me just share. Oh, I forgot to click this on. By the way, can you believe we are in July? Who's feeling like, okay, the year just started. How are we already in July? But, okay, let me make sure you guys can see me here. All right, we've got a split screen happening. Right? Even though we're right now in July, technically in the Chinese calendar, we're halfway through. We're only 6 months in. So really, we still have about 6 months left. So if you want to think about it that way, feel free to do so. But what I wanted to cover here, okay? In Chinese metaphysics, it can be not just in Feng Shui, right? But in healing, in any of the other Chinese metaphysical modalities, one of the main premise that I work off of is the idea of the 3 levels of luck. And the 3 levels of luck is what you see on the screen here. Okay? We have heaven luck, which is Tian. Okay? We have earth luck, which is Di. And then the mankind luck, which is Ren. And Tian, Di, Ren, heaven, earth, and mankind is how you ultimately manifest anything in your life, positively or negatively. And a lot of the manifesting can come consciously, like if you want to manifest a better business, then you like make sure you have good sales and marketing in place. But also, if you want, using the same example of a business, if you're having business challenges, we are also subconsciously attracting that business challenge or whatever challenge we have in our life through one of these levels of luck. Okay, so this is how I've always, well, not always, this is how I've lived my life, half my life now. I'm in my 40s. Since my early 20s, I started realizing that this 3 levels of luck is so important to holistically manifest anything that I desire, be it financial abundance, career opportunities, attracting my husband, attracting my children, right? Because I had fertility issues. I have and still am operating all my manifesting, all the magnetizing my desires onto me and onto my life by looking at this chart right here. Okay, 天地人. And I'm going to go through that a little bit more here. Okay, so let's talk about earth energy. And this is where most of you guys know me from, right? This is where Feng Shui comes into play. Because our homes are built on the ground, on flat plains of the earth, right? That one is easy to understand. And so, however, I have also, the more I am a consummate student, so the more I learn about energy and vibration and frequency, and by the way, these three things are different, okay? The more I learn about energy, vibration, and frequency, the more I realize there is so much more about earth energy, and I am still learning, but part of the things that really blew me away is how certain parts of planet Earth, for instance, have a specific spiritual energy to it, a spiritual vortex, right? If you look at the ancient civilizations like the Mayans and the Incans, you look at the Egyptian pyramids, you look at even natural structures like the Uluru in Australia, there are certain parts of planet Earth that just innately has that spiritual power to it. So when you do your prayers or your meditation, tapping into the energies of these spiritually charged vortexes on Earth, some people even call it like the chakras of the planet, right? The energy centers of Earth. Then you're tapping into a whole other level of Earth energy here. It makes so much sense. But even if you're so far away from those power vortexes, right? You can't travel to the pyramids in Egypt, for instance. We can still make sure that the earth energy for our home is also as auspicious, as prosperous as possible. Now for Feng Shui, right? Feng Shui is, we talk about landform. We talk, so landform is what's outside of your house, right? The mountains, the rivers, all that, they also have the potential to impact the energy that comes into your house. And we also look at structural. Structural can be external, it can be internal. If you have a structure, but external Feng Shui structure has even more impact on you. So if you have a huge poison arrow outside your house, and not only that, it's pointing towards your front door, which is the chi mouth of your home, then that will block prosperous energy from coming in. But not only that, so structure, like I said, it's internal or external, right? So you can have external poison arrows that can impact you, but there's also internal stuff. Where is your stove placed? Where are your bedroom doors placed? Do you have any slanted ceiling that you're sleeping or working under, and that is putting pressure on you? Are you sitting under a toilet bowl, and every time someone flushes, energetically it just pours crap energetically down towards you? If your work desk is just under the toilet bowl above, it's things like that, right? So all that is under earth energy. However, since last year, in my studies of metaphysics and spirituality and energy, vibration and frequency, I've started working on the earth energy at a deeper level. And some of you have done some sessions with me on this. Is that if you look at planet Earth, like this, and we have our house here, or maybe you have a, you know, you live in a condo or whatever, right? Sometimes the blockage for your health, your relationship, your finances is because of Feng Shui. And that's earth energy. But sometimes the blockage to health, relationship, and finances is still earth energy, but outside of what Feng Shui can do for you, because Feng Shui deals with like more on this level, right? But there is also energy. So this is the center of the earth. There is also energy under here that could also impact the experience of the people living in that area. So, for instance, if the land that your home is situated on, if it was an ancient battleground, if it had really old trauma, or it had maybe even just someone dying on that piece of land, and then after many years, many decades, many millennia, a house is then built on top of that piece of land, the trauma is still stuck in under the ground. And so I know some of you guys, you do your sage, you do your smudging, you do your incense. Those are all good, but that will not clear the trauma that is in ground all the way to the core of the earth. And when I do home auric high dimensional, okay, I clear the four walls of the house. I clear the land that your house is set on. I clear all the way down to the center, and actually I even clear all the way into the galaxy. Now the galaxy is not technically earth energy, but I just want to say that just this bit of earth energy here, you need to go, you start with the Feng Shui because that's the simplest one to do, but then when you go, after you're done with your placements and everything, you follow the energetic patterns. After that, you need to clear. If you're still getting blockages, and especially if you've been in your house for a while, if you're still feeling blockages, you need to clear all the way to the crux of the earth. And I get comments from my clients over and over again that once they do the home auric clearing with me, that the energy of the home is just lighter. And I'm not saying this is the result for everyone who does the home energy clearing for me, but I get emails and I get messages of, oh my gosh, Safrina, after the clearing, arguments just kind of died down. Opportunities come through. One even had like a unexpected promotion, and even the husband was like, well, I guess Safrina's clearing did the work, because there's just energy that's just blocking the prosperity. This is how you manipulate the energy. Some of them you just have to let that go because it's negative energy. It's traumatic energy that's blocking good things from coming to your house, coming into your life. Does that make sense so far? I just want to make sure I'm still seeing comments here. Okay. Make sense so far? All right. Oh, actually, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. So that is earth energy. And then mankind energy. So that's another level of chi, right? Mankind energy is your, and you see me, this is actually a slide from my PowerPoint that I kind of borrowed, and I'll talk about this a little bit more. Physical, mental, and emotional body. And here we have the dimensional body and the spiritual body. So now, we we have heaven energy, mankind energy, and earth energy. Earth energy is the is where Feng Shui is. It's where, you know, like I just said, the energy under the ground is. After that, we need to work on the energy of us. Okay, because we dealt with the home already. Now we have to deal with the energy of us. And we are more than just a physical body. We are more than just a physical being. We actually have 5 layers of body. Okay? And this is how I've kind of actually, let me just put this away for now. Okay? So this is a person. Okay, I'm not I'm not an artist, so don't laugh at me. Okay? This is our body. This is our physical body. We can touch. 3rd dimensional, right? Height, width, depth. But we have layers to our body, 4 more layers. Okay, I'm not gonna do like the full one, but and these layers of body are our mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, and dimensional body. Okay. So, what is all that? All that. In the mankind energy, we have physical, mental, and emotional body. Physical body, we already know, right? Our head, our toes, our torso, our arms, legs, right? And all our organs. Mental body is our thoughts. And sometimes our thoughts are ours. Sometimes our thoughts are not ours. Some of our thought patterns can be imprints from childhood. When you were growing up, your next door neighbor or your friends and family said something that's traumatic and it stuck. Oh, who are you to think you can, you deserve such and such thing in your life? And that mental loop sticks around. So where financial abundance is concerned, you can work physically, you can go to the school, get your degree, you can work really hard, you can be the first one in the office, the last one to leave. But if you have mental tapes, mental programming, that is telling you you are not worthy of success, for instance, or that being rich makes you a target and therefore it's not safe to be rich. And these are just like one of the millions of examples out there, right? If you do not work on the mental the blockages in your mental body around money, for instance, no matter how much you work, you're still going to have issues with your career, your business, and your investments. Okay? And then there's also the emotional body. The emotional body are things that you feel. It's here, down in the heart chakra, and the 8th higher heart chakra as well, where you feel success might make you a traitor to your family. Let's say you come from a family where no one is quote unquote successful, right? And you feel out of sorts. You feel like you won't belong in the family if you do make something of yourself and become financially successful. Emotionally, that feels like you're betraying those you love or the ones that you should feel like you belong to, right? So, and mental and emotional body, the blockages sometimes is from you. Okay. I might lose some of you guys here, but this is just how, if you guys have done law of attraction work, manifesting work, and you're doing the meditation, you're doing the chants, you're doing the mantras, you're doing, even when you're doing energy healing, even if you're doing hypnotherapy, for instance, most of the practitioners out there only deal with your energy, most of that. So, what is yours and what is not yours? Can you guys see it in yellow? Maybe. Okay, maybe I shouldn't use yellow. Okay. What is yours versus what is not yours in terms of your blockage. Okay? Any mental or emotional blockage that is yours could be from this life, past life, and let's see if you guys are prepared for this. Parallel lives. The third one is a bit of a doozy, and I'm still exploring the third one. Okay? So, in this life, whether your mental or emotional body has good energy, it could come from your family, for instance. Right? Your family, your society. You see, and let's say you have really loving family and they support you in whatever endeavors you decide to take up in your life. Then you have good, so let's say for your career, then you have good mental and emotional body energies when it comes to your career, as an example. But you could also have people who don't support you, and that becomes an imprint from your life, whether you, especially from childhood. Whatever trauma from childhood sticks for the rest of your life. And most of you guys don't know, I'm trained as a hypnotherapist as well. I'm trained in many energy healing modalities. And it is so common for me to be working with a client who's 40, 50, 60 years old and struggling to heal the root cause of their lack of abundance that actually stems from childhood. Okay? So that's really, really important. There's also mental and emotional block, mental and emotional body block from past life. So let me use a different color here. So for past life, it could be trauma. It could be your past life karma. I'm telling you this to be really frank with you, because a lot of people think that just from doing Feng Shui, you can invite in all the wealth, or just by meditating and visualizing. Who here has heard of The Secret, right? Oh, you visualize your desires and it'll happen. Not if you have trauma and karma from past life that is blocking you from your desire, and you are not aware that you have that block, and you are not aware, even if you know that block, most people will struggle to actually find the right methods to clear that blockage. Okay? So, and parallel lives, I'm not going to delve too much into this. Parallel lives, even quantum physicists or quantum mechanics or whatever, they're still trying to figure the parallel lives part. But, you know, the multiverse and all the other terms, for instance, this is something that science is still trying to catch up. But spiritually, in the spiritual realm, we know, or we are being made aware that we are more than just this lifetime. It's hard enough for me to sell a lot of people on the idea of past life. It's even harder to talk about parallel lives. Again, different teachers will have different perspectives on this, but the one that I loosely follow says we have like 1,500 other parallel lives that are happening at the same time as this one. So if you have parallel life selves who have their trauma, who have their karma, it also impacts what result you get from your manifesting. Okay? So sometimes when I have clients that they do Feng Shui and they come back to me and say, Safrina, the Feng Shui didn't work. I still didn't get whatever it is that I wanted. Right? It's because they only dealt with 1/3 of this. They only dealt with the earth portion, earth energy portion. They haven't worked on the heaven energy, right? They haven't worked on the heaven energy. They haven't worked on the mankind energy. Not really. I have clients who want success in business, but like they're still not willing to do physically. They're still not willing to do what it takes to build a business, for instance. And sometimes I laugh, but most times I get offended when people say, I have the business that I have now because I do Feng Shui. Some of you guys, most of you guys have no idea how much work I have also done in the heaven energy level as well as the mankind energy level. I take sales and marketing courses, trainings on social media, training on using YouTube videos for marketing. But I also take trainings as well as work with healers that help me with my mental body, help me with my emotional body, and also actually and dimensional body. Sorry, the past and parallel lives actually should be in the heaven energy. Okay, this part here actually should be over there, but that's right. But there's also, when it comes to this part, the mankind luck, right, the mental and emotional body, some of those energetic blockages are not yours. And how does that look like? So when I do clearing for trauma, when I do clearing for karma, I also clear energy that is not yours, but it's linked to you. How is it linked to you? So trauma, karma, okay? You may have ancestral trauma. You may have ancestral karma. That family lineages are going through. It's unfortunate, right? So it could be, let's say, someone who wants to get sober because alcoholism is ruining their life, ruining their relationships, their health, their business. But if you only work on alcoholism and you only target the energy that is yours, you're also missing a big part. Because what also needs to be healed is if there are any ancestral karma and trauma that is also blocking you from healing. And this includes money as well. If you have ancestors on both sides of the family that have accrued karma or has imposed traumatic things onto others that is financially related, let's say, then guess what happens? The energy has to balance out somehow. So if that person couldn't pay off that karmic debt, or couldn't neutralize the trauma, the children, the grandchildren, great grandchildren, those energies trickle down to us. We also need to heal that. And this is not something that Feng Shui can touch. You have to work through, and which is why ancestral healing is so, so important. And it's even more important once we are parents, because once you see a pattern like alcoholism or abuse or poverty consciousness is also very ancestral for many, many families. Is once you are a parent, if you heal the ancestral karma, not only is it going to heal your life, you're also going to break the cycle from it trickling down to your children and your grandchildren, and so on and so forth. It is so important. And I know I should have prefaced this, that for most of you, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to make money, and I've been like working. I've been working so hard on the mankind life, on the physical mankind stuff, right? The actions. Going to networking events, doing speaking gigs, working long nights, but my business is still not making the money. I'm still not getting the career progression. And then you're starting to look at Feng Shui, right? You're starting to look at the Feng Shui bit. Okay, that's good. Now you're adding in another component to bring in maximizing the chi. So some of you guys might feel like, okay, what I've covered so far might give more options for you to explore, but for some of you, you might feel like it's too much work, right? Who is in group 1 where you feel like, oh, I have felt stuck and I don't know what else I can do. Now that Safrina's talking about this, I might have other things to explore. That's group 1. Group 2 is, okay, this is just too much, I give up. No judgment. Put it in the comment if you're group 1 or group 2. As I take a sip. Tina, you're in 1? Okay, perfect. Ascending mind is 1. We're not even done. Okay. Yeah. So the dimensional and the spiritual body is heaven luck. Okay. So let's talk about heaven luck, heaven energy right now. Even if you're group 2, it's fine. I was in group 2. I go from group 1 and group 2. When it absolutely, it depends on what vibration I'm on, right? What energy I'm on, right? Sometimes you can be in group 2 when, it's just been a really crappy day. We're all human. So it's normal and it's human to like go from group 1, group 2. But again, allow yourself to kind of maybe just take a little bit of time to be in group 2, but pull yourself out of that and go back into group 1 if you can. Okay. Anyway, dimensional body and spiritual body are the 4th and 5th level of bodies that we have. Dimensional body, I kind of touched on that already, is our past lives, our parallel lives. Can you guys see here? Parallel lives, and even future lifetimes, future lifelines. And going back to quantum physics, my head is still I'm still working my way into wrapping my head around future timelines. But quantum mechanics, quantum science is telling us that future, past, and present and present include parallel lives, are all happening at the same time. That it's not linear, it's all happening at the same time. It's a bit of a mind F, isn't it? Right? It's tough to wrap your head around that. So I'm for now, I am going to take away the future one, just to reduce the overwhelm a little bit. But dimensional body are energies from our past lives. I've done your feng shui, and things are still blocked. Okay, so we've talked about going into looking at the rest of the mankind energy, right? The physical, mental, and emotional. But what about heaven energy? You have to go into past lives and parallel lives. What happened in your past lives that gave you, this is a thing, financial trauma. And I'll share with you my own personal story. This was many, many years ago, where I've already gone full time with my feng shui consulting, but I maxed out. I hit a ceiling. Oh, sorry. I hit a ceiling where my business income was concerned. It's been like 2 years in a row that I hit that number. I forgot what it was, like 140, 150 maybe. But I knew that my business had so much more potential to hit 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 and more. So I've already done the manifesting. I visualized, I meditated, right? And I'm doing the mankind luck stuff, but I'm still blocked from that upper level of financial income that I want from my business. And it was through a prayer. I basically prayed and said, God, angels, spirit guides, show me where else I am blocked. And this is where past life healing came into my view. And so I took the training for past life regression, which I'm also certified for. Took the training for hypnotherapy, which also works on past lives. Took the training for Akashic record reading. You guys have no idea how much money I spent on my training. I still work with healers where they work on me, but out of my own curiosity, I want to learn it myself, right? And I started being shown past lives where in one life, actually in many lives, I died because I had money. I died because I was rich. And I also had past lives where I had to be poor in order to be safe. It's a long story, but I would have been hunted down if they knew I was this rich person. Big long story, I won't bother you with it right now. And I've also died in one past life. I was a criminal. I made a lot of money making moonshine, and because I was so rich, people were like jealous of my alcohol territory. They want to take over my territory. They want my money. I got shot in the back of my head because of that particular lifetime. And so even though I use my feng shui, I use my mankind energy stuff, right, to manifest my business, I use this bit here, right? But I wasn't working on the dimensional side just yet. So once I worked on the past life stuff, telling myself it is now safe to be rich. I won't be killed. I won't be murdered. I won't lose my life because I'm rich. I had to deprogram that, because that was a mental program. Being rich is not safe. Being rich leads me to be killed. That was my mental programming from my past lives. And I also have parallel lives. And those of you who did my vision board training last year, we worked on parallel lives. And I also used whatever spiritual tools that I've learned to go into parallel lives where I have achieved the success that I am seeking in this life. And therefore, I borrowed the belief, I borrowed the faith that, hey, if my parallel life selves can achieve this, and we are of the same soul blueprint, then this embodiment can achieve it as well. So by working on past lives, and you could have past lives that are successful as well, right? So that's your dimensional body that we also need to look at when, so what is the chi, what is the energy, the vibration, the frequency from your past lives and your parallel lives? Is it blocking you from your desires? Is it helping you towards your desires? Okay. And then spiritual body now. Who? Spiritual body. Spiritual body. Again, many teachers have many different explanations on this or definitions for this. But for me, spiritual body is connection to our higher self, connection to God or higher power or universe, connection to spiritual guides, connection to our beneficial ancestors. Not all ancestors are beneficial. Connection to everyone, the universal energy, connection to the oneness, connection to the unity. And the stronger your connection to that spiritual side of you, for me, it is a change maker. The moment I started working with my spiritual guides, with my Akashic guides, working with my working with the universal energies, I'm now also working with galactic beings. It's weird, I know. I haven't even shown you guys a lot of the stuff that I work with. This is already pretty weird, I think, for the mainstream. But there's tons of other stuff that I don't share only because it just sounds like science fiction. But anyway, if you ever feel, for me, the game changer is if you ever feel stuck, if you ever feel like you're at a crossroad and you're like, okay, do I take option A, option B? Right? Do I take this promotion or do I stay with this other company that's giving me more opportunities elsewhere? Then you connect to your spiritual self, your higher self, the universal mind, to God, whatever name you want to give it, and you trust the guidance that comes from it. And in my life, and in my business especially, I have gotten so much guidance through meditation. And that's another chapter, another book, all on its own. Any type of meditation is fine. All of them bring you, the right meditation should bring you to the same destination of connecting to your intuition, connecting to your higher self. Your intuitive abilities is part of your spiritual body. Your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, all those clairs is part of our spiritual body, and all of us have intuition, but many of us have buried our intuitive abilities. Again, for many of us, we buried our intuitive abilities because in our past lives, it has been shown to be unsafe to have these abilities, right? A lot of us who are healers, we've been killed because we were called witches, or we've been killed because we were, what are the other names they call it, like pagans or whatever, because we've been working on the spiritual side of stuff in our past lives. And because we've been killed, now in this embodiment, we don't want to reawaken our intuitive abilities. We don't want to reawaken our innate connection to working with nature, working with herbs or whatever for healing. It's our disconnection from all these levels of bodies here. Okay? So, I know this is a lot, but this is part of the reason, just like there's fast food feng shui, okay? Just like there's fast food feng shui, there's also fast food manifesting stuff, fast food law of attraction stuff. They say, oh, do your affirmation. Oh, I am worthy of $50,000 a month. I am worthy of $50,000 a month. You can do that affirmation for millions of times. But if you still have stuff in your heaven energy, if you still have stuff in your mankind energy, if you still have blockages in your earth energy, those affirmations can only go so much. That is the truth. I hope that resonates with you. Let me know if it does. If it didn't resonate with you, maybe you would have clicked off at this point. But this is the reason why I always say, out of all of this, okay, hold on, let me just, out of all of this, okay, can you guys see that to the easiest, simplest one to do to change your life now is the earth energy part, right? Move your furniture, place the right elements. This is the easiest one. Place the right colors, face the right direction. And this is also part of the reason, like many people, they come to me for a feng shui consult. But I actually I ask them, are you open to taking my feng shui certification course instead? I don't accept everyone. I do have a selection process. But the reason why if they are the right student for me and if I'm the right teacher for them, I do encourage them to take the certification course, because once they know how real feng shui is done, they would have a big piece of this. Out of the 3 levels of energy, they would have a big piece of this done. That will boost your manifesting abilities. It's easier to control. And then after that is done, then you working on your mental body, working on your emotional body, working on your dimensional body and your spiritual body. These other things take energy. They take time. They're not going to be overnight journey. I'm still doing the healing work for past lives and parallel lives for myself, and I do it for my family as well. And in fact, for some of you, I've been doing it for a few months now, right? I don't talk about it in public that much, but I have been doing that. And when you work on these other levels of energy, other levels of chi, you work on the trauma, you work on the karma, you work on all the other energy blockages. Some are yours, some are not yours, like we said here, right? Some are yours, some are not yours. It doesn't matter. We should and need to clear all of them, because it still impacts us. So yes, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, but what is the solution if you don't though? Right? If you don't start the healing journey, if you don't start to learn what kind of chi is blocked from you, what kind of energy is blocking you from success, either financially or health or relationship wise, then what's the alternative? If you don't learn how to manipulate chi, if you don't learn how to heal that, the alternative is you stay stuck where you are now. And none of us want that, right? And even if you guys were here earlier, you heard of me talking about my Bell's palsy, right? I did all this. I did all the feng shui, right? Well, maybe physical. Again, it was after my Bell's palsy. Like I've spent money on supplements and stuff like that, but I haven't really been taking them. So I haven't really been taking care of my physical body that much. I'm lacking in sleep and all that, right? So even with all the feng shui, I still, you know, what do you call that? Drop the ball in the physical, emotional, and mental side, right? We're all humans, and therefore, you know, I still get sick. But if I didn't have the earth energy in place, if I didn't maximize my earth energy, I personally think, knowing the energy that is coming to me this year, or that has come to me this year, it would have been a stroke instead of Bell's palsy. It would have been something more permanent rather than Bell's palsy, which is temporary. Well, it could be permanent for a small amount of people. But again, that's me glass half full. But it is the truth, though. It could have been much worse, right? And then when I got the Bell's palsy for the 4th time in my life, I went into my spiritual, I connected with the spiritual side of me. I connected to my higher self. Why did I get this again? And they told me, well, you've been going hard for months. You need to rest. But because you don't take care of yourself, we have to force you to rest. And that made sense to me. Right? I was like, okay, fine. I was forced to take a break from business. So looking at the chart that we have here, okay? And I don't know if you guys want to take a screenshot or whatever, but just as a reminder, okay? So whatever blockages that you have in your life right now, do it layer by layer. I know it's kind of overwhelming when you look at this chart the way it is here. But like I said, deal with the feng shui first. Once that is done, maybe look at the physical side, like your actions. Are you taking the right actions to bring you closer to your desires? Right? And then you look at your mental and emotional side. Are you making the right decisions to bring you closer to your desire? Or are you actually self-sabotaging? Are you letting fear run your life? Are you letting lack of self-confidence or lack of self-love or lack of self-worth to stop you from taking the right action or stop you from making the right decision? Right? Once you work on that, and things are starting to shift, okay, like you're getting momentum, then you look at dimensional and spiritual. If you feel like you're heading towards like a plateau, then you do the dimensional and the spiritual. You can take it step by step, or you can do it all at once. Some people, like me, I'm impatient. I want to do it all at once. I want to deal with my emotional, my mental, my dimensional, my spiritual, all at once, right? But if I would prefer, but that can be overwhelming for a lot of people. So I would prefer that you deal with this layer by layer. And with every bit of healing that you do, with every increase in self-awareness, with every increase in your connection to your spiritual self, every little bit that you do will shift the chi, shift the energy, shift the vibration, shift the frequency to make you a much stronger manifester, so that whatever that you want, so that whatever that you affirm at that point and whatever that you visualize in terms of manifesting work, your law of attraction work, you will find that you will get and see results much faster now, because you don't have the blockages that you used to have, right? So same thing, like, so when my business, you know, I could see my business for the 3rd year in a row would be hitting 150K a year, which is decent money, but I wanted to make more, right? So once I started doing that, that was the year, I don't remember now, I almost tripled. I didn't triple, but I almost tripled my income that year. Right? So hopefully this opens up the discussion with yourself in terms of, okay, where do you want to tackle next? Right? If you feel like you're still missing things in the feng shui portion and you want to learn how to go deeper into applying better, higher level, more advanced feng shui in your home, I do have my certification course. It's starting July 18th. So I think we're just 2 weeks away. July 18th till 21st is the next cohort. After this month, the next certification course is in January. So if this month is not a good time, then maybe you can keep your eye out for next year. But like I said, this is the easiest one to do. Those of you who took my certification course, put that in the comment, right? Real feng shui is not easy. I should say this. Real feng shui is not simple. But when you juxtapose feng shui work with heaven energy work or mankind energy work, the feng shui work is the fastest to do. Right? Tina says she loved it. Nicole also did it. And so, and even for some of you, if you've taken the certification course, you've done the feng shui, you've done the placements in your home, and you're still not seeing the results, then you need to look at these other levels of energy now. It's not me making an excuse for feng shui. It is it's the reality that feng shui only has a specific container. It has its limits, right? You can't use feng shui to heal a past life trauma. You can't use feng shui to balance out your karma. You can't expect a tool to do something that it's not meant to do. So once you have the feng shui in place, yeah, Gabriella said, just wanted to say feng shui is not easy, but definitely worth the certification. And the same where the course is concerned, you take the course, you practice it, you finesse your approach to it. You, even if you just do it for your home, you're already helping your family with it, right? If you want to share it with your friends, then you're helping your friends and family with it. And some of my students end up down the road, they made this into their business, and you help more people with it. But never, I have never, and even I ask my students to never guarantee that feng shui in and of itself will change everything, because feng shui is just 1/3 of the fullness of the energy, vibration, and frequency that impacts how our lives look like. Yeah. So I'll take questions if you guys have questions. Preferably questions that are connected to this topic. If it's more feng shui related question, I might only take it if it's a really good one. Because I really wanted to just like focus on this one. Oh, you guys are amazing. Yeah. Nicole says, I'm in the same boat as you. I study all these things that most think are crazy. That's what I loved about Manifesting Code. There was a place to share with others. I know. So Manifesting Code was a monthly membership that I had where we talk about all things, a little bit of feng shui, but mostly things above and beyond feng shui. Honestly, I miss it too. Like every month we would have 2 group calls and 1 workshop. Again, sometimes around feng shui, sometimes, but most times around other spiritual and metaphysical stuff. I do miss it. But that's why, hold on, I'm just taking screenshots of it here before I lose it. Yeah, but it also, for me, it opens up it's a can of worms. It's or a Pandora's box in a good way, because once you open once we open our eyes to all these other levels of energy, we start connecting the dots. Oh, this is why this has been a pattern in my family. This is why I've been stuck, even no matter how much I force it physically, right? Force it in terms of building a business or whatever. Now I understand where that blockage is coming from. Things like that. So, Robin says, I'm struggling with deciding to defer from studying with blockages semester, struggling with family health, not sure whether to defer or feel stuck. You have to be, okay, so here's the thing. There's the term, feel the fear, but do it anyway. I'm not saying you have to resonate with it, but if you let fear make the decision for you, and that's the safest one, right? If you fear something and you decide not to go for it, then you're in your safe space because it's familiar, but is that safe space doing good for you? Is that for your highest and best good? And for many of us, the spiritual development is in feeling the fear but doing it anyway, because then that comes from your well of faith that no matter what happens, that you will have support after it. So again, and for me, if there is a really tough decision for me to make, I go into my spiritual energy. I do my meditation. I pray to God or higher self, universal mind, whatever you want to call it. I meditate for an answer. The tricky bit is part of, and also your own intuition. The tricky part is the real answer comes right away. Oh, should I invest in this course? Should I open that business? If you go within and you ask that question, the real higher mind, higher self answer comes right away. But it's usually very quiet. And if you hear it just for that split second, but then you let it go, and then you start researching, and you start comparing, like, oh, should I take this course? Should I take that course? That, and then you make a decision from that, then that is, I'm not saying it's still a bad decision, because sometimes maybe option A, B, and C are all good for you. But what is the highest and best good for you? That is usually from your intuition. And your intuition is from your connection with your higher self, which is your spiritual body. Right? Many of us, and this is me too, when I get that first intuitive hit, usually I just brush it off. I'm a researcher. I go into the rabbit hole and I research other options. And then I would meditate, and then it brings me back to that very first intuitive hit. And now, especially when I do readings with my clients, when that flash of insight comes, I grab hold to it, because I know that comes from a higher realm, your higher self, your higher guidance, from God, if you're open to calling it that way. But if you sit with fear, if you sit with not enoughness, if you sit with excuses, some excuses are valid, I'll give it that, but sometimes we take an itty bitty excuse and we run with it. That becomes the full reason why we couldn't do something. That's not doing, ask yourself, how is that working for you in your life? Tough love. And I do it too. I would meditate, I would get answers, and I wouldn't listen to it. to a point where my spiritual guides literally, well, not literally, but they get mad at me because they're like, you're not listening to us. We told you what you need to do. You're not listening. I still do it. So we're all human beings. But and it's funny. Just yesterday, I was like, oh man, I'm really my own worst enemy because I did not listen to guidance. So that's, you make your own decision, you make your own life path, but it's our we have free will. All of us, we are born with free will. No matter what your soul purpose is or soul mission is, we have free will to reject all of that. And that's part of the thing about being spiritually ascended to reincarnate as a human being, right? That we have free will. And that is a great spiritual power, but do we use that? Sorry, that was like long-winded. Lisa says, intuition and unity consciousness, all spiritual guides and galactic beings. It sounds wild outside when discussing with non-spiritual folk, but it's all one. Yeah, I've had readings with aliens. I've had readings with galactic guides, not just my own, but my clients as well. And things made so much sense when you get guidance or when you get insight from them. Not all of them are guides. Sometimes they just complete the puzzle in terms of whatever that you're dealing with. Yeah. Will I be doing any more higher dimensional healing? I've actually been doing it every week. I've only taken 1 month off, I think. Yeah. I've only taken the month off, the month that I got my Bell's palsy, I believe. I've been doing high dimensional healing every week for my group. It's done as a group. And we've been doing trauma healing, soul healing, karmic rebalancing. And I was just mentioning this to someone, or maybe one of the last healings that I did as a group. Because I got the question, Safrina, can you actually clear karma? In Hinduism, there's 3 types of karma. I'm paraphrasing here, but there's karma that we're currently creating now. There's good karma and bad karma, right? So whatever that we do in our daily lives now, we accrue good karma or bad karma. Okay? So that's the first kind of karma, the one that we are accruing now. And the second karma is the karma that we have chosen to walk in this life. So it can be going through financial struggles, or going through relationship struggles, going through health struggle. Even the Dalai Lama, even the most spiritual people still have karma to walk through. So no matter how much Feng Shui you do, for instance, we still have karma that we have agreed. This is where our free will is. We have agreed to choose the parents that we have chosen to be born into, to choose the societal social standing that we're born into, to choose whatever ancestral stuff that ends up getting passed down to us. Right? I forgot what led me down to this. But so the higher dimensional healing, yes, I've been doing it actually almost a year now. Almost every week I have a group of clients that I do it for. Some have signed on just for 1 session. Some have signed on for a whole month. Some have signed up for 6 months, 12 months. So if you're curious about that, we can talk about if it's something that you would be open to doing. It is something that I'm very gung-ho on right now, simply because the more I learn and seek spiritual truth, the more I realize these are the kinds of healings that are not really accessible to people. And I want to say that and I'm very particular with who I train with. In fact, my teachers, the less mainstream they are, the more I like them. Because they are usually the ones with the really secret, high powered techniques. That's my perspective on it anyway. So I'm not the only one that does past life healing or does galactic healing or high dimensional healing. I'm not the only one. But and this is what one of my VIP clients, like, he's had weekly sessions with me coming on to a year now. This is private sessions. I don't take a lot of private clients for healing. I don't, because I don't have a lot of energy or time for it. But he meditated to Kuan Yin in terms of who he can go to help him get through the blockage that he was getting. And Kuan Yin told him to come to me by name. So when Kuan Yin says that, who am I to tell the client I can't work with him? But anyway. And I also have a lot of clients who are like angel practitioners, and they ask the angels to help them choose a practitioner or a teacher, and the angels chose me to be their teacher. Who am I to say no? Right? So I've been doing that. So if you're interested in to see the packages, every month I have a different topic. Like last month we did trauma clearing. We just finished the 4th session. This month we're doing karmic rebalancing, talking about karmic rebalancing. Oh, so the 3rd karma is karma that you have accrued that you are not yet walking. You're not walking that karma because maybe we're choosing to walk those karma in other lifetimes. So in terms of karma, for me, out of integrity, to tell you what I can clear is what used to be karma, and you've like paid it off through many lifetimes of, let's say, poverty, right? Many lifetimes of poverty, living in poverty. You've paid that off, but because the pattern of living in poverty has been your experience for many lifetimes, now your debt is paid, your karmic debt is paid, but in your current or maybe even future lifetimes, you're so used to that poverty pattern that you stick to it. You stay in it. You hate it. You don't like that poverty reality, but because you've had it for so many different lifetimes, it just becomes an imprint. You're just so used to it. That is the one that I clear. Okay. We all still have karma that we have to walk. I have karma that I still have to walk in this lifetime, right? That's part of the spiritual ascension. I can't say that. So if your karma is around, financial struggle, we can minimize that, right? And we increase. How do we minimize it? One, we work with the dimensional healing, higher dimensional healing. Again, I don't just work with the 7 chakras, I work with 15 chakras. But with the clearing, right, the trauma clearing, we clear your trauma, your ancestral trauma, your past life trauma, your parallel life trauma. I go through everything that I clear, I go through those levels. So your energy and energy that is not yours. Every session, I go through all that. And it's done for you. My clients don't have to do anything except giving me consent for the clearing session. And again, I'm not the only healer that does this, but I feel from all my different trainings, that VIP client of mine says, it's kind of like I'm in MMA. I'm an MMA fighter, mixed martial arts fighter, right? If I need Kung Fu, I can switch to Kung Fu. If I need Aikido, I can switch to Aikido. If I need what are the other, like Muay Thai, like other, martial arts, right? So whenever I do these sessions, okay, do we work on the chakra? Do we work on the pyramid centers? Do we work on higher dimensional? Do we work on, it's because I'm trained in so many different modalities, I can bring in, what's the word that a student called me? Curate. I get trained in all these modalities and I curate the best parts and I bring it into the session. Um, yeah, and if you have curses, either curses done to you or curses done to your family, I clear that too. All those things impact the level of you being able to manifest, right? It is a rabbit hole. It's a beautiful rabbit hole, though. I love that rabbit hole. Do you have any classes on heaven, dimensional, parallel, and past life lessons? If not, is this in your future plans? Now, the thing is, Alan, great question. And by the way, I sent you a message, I think. I don't know. Because I know you were trying to get into the my graduate group on Facebook, but that's only if you took my certification course. So if you're interested in the certification course, feel free to PM me and we'll talk, or email me. I believe in doing something with, I don't want to say consent, but agreement. Like, I started offering the Feng Shui course because my grandmaster has allowed me to share the textbook. And I'm doing the higher dimensional healing because, well, I've finished the training. I'm certified in it. And because it's such a great tool. Of training other people on it, on any modality, I feel like I need my master's consent for that. I just feel like energetically that's the best thing to do, the right thing to do, right? So if I feel like I am ready to start teaching other people in the higher dimensional stuff, I would only do it with the agreement from my master that I am ready for it. Maybe I'm old school, I don't know, but I just feel like energetically that is the right progression. So right now I'm just doing it as a practitioner. I'm not doing it as a teacher. I won't say no to teaching it in the future, but right now my guidance from my spiritual guides, from my Akashic guides, from my higher self is for me to combine these healings so that in every session I just hit everything. Like, even when I'm trained to do the higher dimensional clearing, I'm not taught to do specifically ancestral and parallel life healing. But for me, it doesn't feel like it's complete if you don't do the ancestral work and if you don't do the parallel life work. It just doesn't feel complete to me. So my guidance from my spiritual guides is for me to see the gaps in all these modalities and fill those gaps so that every session is just like supercharged, right? So that's my guidance. Have you heard of astrocartography? Yes, I have. I don't know much about it, and I'm actually just about to start a human design. I know it's a different one, but you just reminded me, Dolly. I just committed to learning about human design because I am curious. It's applying your astrology chart to places in the world to see what kind of energy you can expect there based on how the planets are crossing. And oh yeah, I totally believe in that. I don't know, I haven't learned any of that, but I totally believe that the planetary movements impact all of us. And in fact, right now, I am starting to be a little bit more aware of solar activities. So like solar flares, or what's the K index or whatever they call it. Because like if you're hearing a lot of people just feeling really tired or maybe really bad sleep, it's not feng shui. It's solar activities that's impact and all the, what do they call it, the neutrinos, or the, it's I might be getting my words wrong, but like all this planetary stuff, it impacts us, whole planet. And in fact, I'm going to be doing a quick video about solar flares in terms of my observations for it. So yeah, I totally believe in that. Very interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Let me know how it goes. Oh my! I have to stop myself from taking another course because, I just finished Egyptian healing, and that's been very interesting. But again, different modalities talk about different things, right? For the Egyptian healing, the spiritual power center is that the where the solar plexus is. But from another teacher, the solar plexus is the emotional center. So, I have also studied human design and wasn't sure it was very. Oh no, sorry to hear that. Again, with every modality, am I still live streaming? I have to double check. Okay, I think I'm still on. Okay. Every modality, there are good teachers and not great teachers. Some people, they may have the knowledge, but they don't know how to pass that knowledge down, right? And so when I asked the grandmaster if I could teach the textbook, he took my date of birth, and then he said, yes, you are a very good teacher. You should teach this, and you can teach this. You have my blessing, right? So, and I've taken courses where in my head I'm like, okay, this person is an awful teacher. They have the knowledge, they have the wisdom, but they don't know how to impart that knowledge down to the next generation of practitioners. So, and I'm not saying that's the case with your human design teacher, but I literally just signed up, so I don't know what. I don't know if my course will be a good one, but it's I do it for out of curiosity, out of opening my mind, opening my inner eyes, um, because there's so much. Science is just catching up to what the spiritual world has known for thousands of years, for millennia, right? So there's so much about the universe, about the planet, about energy and vibration and frequency. In my head, I want to learn it all. I know that's impossible, but I want to devote a lot of my time, energy, and finances into these courses because they're not cheap. They are not cheap. I use human design with some astrology consulting, and my clients didn't find it. Oh no, okay, modality is important. Yeah. So hopefully, what I know what I shared today is kind of high level. There is so much more in here, and so there's a couple of things that I want to announce since you guys are still here. I do have a money corner workshop that is coming up end of this month, so July 25th till the 27th. Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar right now. July 25th till the 27th, I will have the money corner workshop, but I don't want to just stop at Feng Shui, right? The Feng Shui money corners. I want to go through as much as possible the other levels of energy too. I just need to figure out, like, really finalize the format. But if you guys want to get on the wait list, I'm not taking registrations right now, so, but I do have a wait list. So if you guys want that, you can, let me bring up the link here. Okay. It's on my website, fengshuiandprosper.com/money corner waitlist. So I should be ready to take registrations next week. Once I finalize, we actually had some tech issues as well, which is why I couldn't take registrations today. But it'll be a fairly cheap workshop. I'm going to try to price it at $39. And we'll go through the Feng Shui money corners. So that's the earth energy portion. But I'm going to be adding some elements of, or as much as I can, because I'm all about doing things holistically nowadays. is to also target a little bit of the emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, and the dimensional body in terms of helping you unblock blockages, to clear out blockages to finances. Okay? Um, so if you guys want to be given the heads up once doors are open to start getting registrations, and I also have a fast action bonus as well. Just make sure you get on the list. So fengshuiandprosper.com/money corner waitlist. And if any of you guys want to talk about certification, again, it is happening in about 2 weeks. So on the 18th is when we start. Less than 2 weeks, actually, 11 days from now. I do have a selection process. I'm not taking everyone, but if you want to see if you want to maximize or start maximizing, because there's a couple of levels of certification. This is level 1 certification. If you want to start maximizing the feng shui part, then let's talk about it. And in case you're wondering, because there's actually level 1, level 2, level 3 for my certification. I started my consulting at level 1. After I finished the level 1 training, very soon after that, I started my feng shui business and started, getting good results for clients. So you don't have to wait till you finish level 3 to start being a feng shui consultant if you're thinking about doing this as a career or as a side gig. Don't sleep on her cert course. Listen to Lisa. Yeah. Again, it's only because once you do the feng shui part, you're almost done the 1/3 of the levels of energy, right? That for me just makes so much sense to just like get the feng shui stuff done, then you work on healing the other levels. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me in this broadcast. It's still going to live on YouTube and it's still going to be on Facebook. So if you know anyone who would have value from listening to the content of this live stream, I would love it if you just share the link with them. Again, it's not for everyone. Not everyone is ready to hear about past lives and parallel lives and divine guidance or intuition. Not everyone wants or is ready. You have to be ready for this kind of information, right? But if you know anyone interested in it, feel free to share with them this live stream. And if you want to discuss about anything, let me know as well. It doesn't have to be about any of my offerings. If you have an aha moment or if you have further questions, then it also helps me to do videos or other content around that. Will you consider doing a class on the consultation business side? I messaged you, Nicole, but the dates for Feng Shui 2025, I don't have that yet. But I will open registration next month. So if you guys are on my email list or if you follow me on YouTube or Facebook, you get the heads up once Feng Shui 2025 doors are open. Okay? And actually for the Money Corner workshop, I should say, for the Money Corner workshop, it's the 2024/2025 edition. So we will talk about which money corners you can activate for whatever energy that is left for this year and also prepare you for activation for next year. So that will be the updated training. So if you already have the Money Corner workshop, that was for last 2023/2024. And if you want to do the update, then join me in the next one. Okay? Thank you so much for sharing that, Ellen. Okay. Thanks for joining me here. Where will this live stream be posted? It's gonna be, well, you're watching it on Facebook, Jay, so it'll be on Facebook still, and it's gonna be on my YouTube channel as well. We'll kind of clean up the editing a little bit for YouTube, but that's where it'll be. Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.